What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WrestleRant Ranks, where I, Graham Gius and Matthews, every single Monday do tier lists and power rankings. And today, in light of a question that I got on hashtag AskGSM a few weeks ago, we're going to be ranking all past WWE pay-per-view and PLE names. So not the pay-per-views themselves based on quality, really, but just the names. Shout out to the person that put together this awesome tier list. That would be at the Mike Sanchez _ on Twitter. So thank you to him for putting this together. I'll include the link to the tier list in the description box if you want to fill it out for yourself. But yeah, I got a question on hashtag AskGSM. Shout out to the average Grunt who asked me a question a few weeks ago, like the best WWE or just really wrestling pay-per-view names in general. This one is just WWE, but a lot of these names are borrowed from, other companies like ECW, WCW specifically. So, there's a lot of crossover there. But yeah, I thought that was a great question. So again, we're not going off of the best pay-per-views of all time. Because I saw this tier list here on tierlistmaker.com and I thought, man, this is a really good list to do. So I'm just going to tell you out of the gate. Well, actually, even before we get going, let me just say this real quickly. If you want to check out other installments of WrestleRant Ranks, you could do so in the description box down below. So be sure to check those out and watch all the other installments that we've done so far this year. Be sure to consider signing up for a WrestleRant All Access Pass channel membership. $5 a month gets you videos like this early and ad-free before anyone else. You also get badges and emojis and the live chats, top billing on certain shows like hashtag AskGSM and WrestleRant Radio, shout-outs at the beginning and end of every single live stream that we do, and so much more. So please consider signing up for that in the description box. And at the very least, just be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell button to be notified every single time we do new content and every single time we go live. So anyway, what I was going to say was, this is not based on pay-per-view quality like, King and Queen of the Ring was such a shit show last year that we're going to put it in D. This isn't that type of tier list at all. But my one rule for this tier list is that any pay-per-view name, aside from maybe Money in the Bank, even Money in the Bank I probably will not make an exception for, that is just a fucking match type that they used as the pay-per-view name is going in D. So you know what? I will not make an exception for Money in the Bank. That is going in D. Money in the Bank sounds cool, but like all these other ones like TLC and Extreme Rules and all this other shit, they're just so fucking lazy. So right off the bat, those go in D. Just telling you right now, those are D-level pay-per-view names. WrestleMania is obviously going in S. WrestleMania will always be notable, memorable, iconic, synonymous with WWE itself, so that's obviously an S-tier pay-per-view name. Payback I never really loved. I thought it was fine. It's just a weaker way of saying Backlash. So I'll put it in C. I might end up moving it to B, but probably C. Payback is fine. Starcade's a hard one because they included this one because WWE used it as a PLE on their WWE Network service years ago for actually not just one, but 2 years in a row. In 2017, I want to say, or maybe it was 2018 and 2019. They did 3 Starcade shows, one in 2017. I don't think that was on the network. They did it again in 2018 and again in 2019. I don't think that they showed the entire show on the network, just select matches, and they were very forgettable both times. But the Starcade name itself is good. I'll just give WCW fans a bone here. I'll throw them a bone and put it in B, although I've never really loved the name. I said that on the show a few weeks ago on hashtag AskGSM, but I'll put it in B regardless. Armageddon is awesome. Armageddon's one of the best ones. I'll put that in A for now. That might end up in S. Just a great fucking name. Backlash is S. At me. Backlash is such a... WrestleMania will always be top of S just for obvious reasons. Backlash is fucking iconic. Bash in Berlin is fine. I'll put that above Payback. I love the alliteration. Kind of specifically tells you where the show is. We probably won't ever get another one because they're not doing pay-per-views in Berlin every fucking year. But I like the idea, Bash in Berlin. I like the alliteration. It's better than Payback. Payback is basically Backlash, but a much weaker way of saying it. Battleground I've never really liked either. That's going in C. I'll probably put that below Payback, actually. I've just never really loved the Battleground name. I've never loved the Battleground show itself, and now it's an NXT PLE. But I'll put that at bottom of C. Bragging Rights is fine. I might just put Bash in Berlin at B. I like that. I like Bash in Berlin. Bragging Rights, the show itself sucked. They only did it 2 years in a row. But it was fitting, though, because it was all about Raw versus SmackDown and bragging rights. Granted, there was never anything on the line, but it made more sense than Survivor Series to do brand supremacy matches at. So I'll honestly probably put that at top of C because it made more sense, and it was more creative than Payback or Battleground. I do like that a bit more. Taboo Tuesday, I always thought was a good one. I like Cyber Sunday more. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. I will put Taboo Tuesday in B, though, above Starrcade. I mean, it was nice that it was cool that they tried out pay-per-views on Tuesdays. And then they switched it back to Sundays, but just called it Cyber Sunday. So I'm going to bring that up. That was all the way at the bottom here. It's not in D. I'll put that at bottom of A. I really always liked the Cyber Sunday concept in the name itself. I thought it was better than Taboo Tuesday. Like, oh, it's taboo. Like, I don't know. I don't really love that name, but it is good, though. Cyber Sunday I always thought was better. Kind of more fitting with the electronic age of the internet and texting and stuff like that, so people can vote on what match stipulations they want to see and who they want to see people face. Always loved that idea. Surprised WWE didn't do more of it as they tapped more into social media in the years that followed. Clash of Champions, a great one. I'll put that above Cyber Sunday. Again, love the alliteration. This obviously came from WCW. And then they changed it to Night of Champions. So I think that's here somewhere. Here it is. Okay, so Night of Champions is here. I might as well just bring that up now. Clash of Champions is a better name. I grew up on Night of Champions. I know we're having a Night of Champions pay-per-view this coming weekend, so I guess this is fitting. I like Night of Champions. Clash of Champions is better. I don't know why they just didn't keep Clash of Champions. It's basically Clash of Champions, but they just fucking changed it. The weird thing is that WCW had Clash of Champions. Then WWE started doing Night of Champions in 2007, years after they bought WCW. And then they kept it Night of Champions until 2015 or 16 when they started calling it Clash of Champions. And they kept Clash of Champions before discontinuing that and bringing back Night of Champions last year or 2 years ago. No idea why we keep getting constant changes with the name changes. And they do have a lot of WCW references today with their pay-per-view names. So I'm not really sure why they just moved it back to Night of Champions, but whatever. So I'll put it in C. I like the name, but Clash of Champions is way better. Crown Jewel is good. It's a good name. I mean, obviously we have a lot of negative memories associated with the name because it's a Saudi Arabia show. And those first few installments were garbage in 2018, 2019. But, we've gotten some solid Crown Jewel shows in recent years. This is another C1. I'll put it below Bragging Rights, but above Payback. Decent name. I like Crown Jewel. It kind of works, honestly. It kind of works more as the King of the Ring show. Like, that's basically their King of the Ring. Crown Jewel, King of the Ring, kind of the same thing. But that is here, though. King and Queen of the Ring was also here. Again, this was basically Night of Champions, but they changed it last year and then brought back Night of Champions. Very confusing. King and Queen of the Ring as a pay-per-view name, honestly, is just not great because it's just the name of the tournament. And I don't know if the original King of the Ring is on here. I don't think it is. It's basically the same fucking thing, so I'm not really sure why they would repeat it anyway. I will put that at below Crown Jewel. King and Queen of the Ring is just not a great pay-per-view name. It's basically, I'll probably put that at bottom of C. It's not a match type, so I'll give it a pass. But it's the name of a tournament, and you don't really need more than that. But I think Crown Jewel is a better way of saying King and Queen of the Ring, in my opinion. Anyway, Judgment Day is an awesome fucking name. That is definitely an S-tier match or S-tier pay-per-view name. Judgment Day has always been goated. The fact they never brought it back sucks, but they probably didn't bring it back because they used it for a faction a few years ago, which they still love today. So we're probably never getting Judgment Day back as an actual pay-per-view, but as a pay-per-view name from the late 90s through the early 2000s, the mid-2000s, it was a great pay-per-view name. No Way Out was also awesome. I'm putting that below Armageddon. It was better than saying, what did they change it to? Elimination Chamber? That shit was terrible. We'll get to that later, but if Elimination Chamber's on here, then that's going in fucking D. But No Way Out was always awesome. December to Dismember, I'm going to give that a, honestly, that's a great name. I'll put that at top of A. I almost put that in S. I'm not even an ECW fan. I really don't. I mean, here's Elimination Chamber. Bam. That goes to D. Elimination Chamber is a terrible name. Call it No Way Out. No Way Out's way better. Maybe they think, oh, people are dumb. They don't know what No Way Out consists of, and they want to use the Chamber name because it tells you what match type they have on it. I don't give a shit. No Way Out's way better. Anyway, I'm not even a big ECW guy, but December to Dismember is just objectively an awesome pay-per-view name. So that's going in A. Evolution is good. That's they're bringing that back this year. It's the women's pay-per-view name. I'll put that in B. My first thought when I hear Evolution is always the stable name. So I'll put that in B. And it's good because, the women's Evolution, I get it. But I just think of the stable. So I guess it's been so long since we got the Evolution stable they could use it as a pay-per-view name. But it hasn't been that long since Judgment Day. Because Judgment Day is still a thing today in WWE. So that's why they haven't used the pay-per-view name. Anyway, Fastlane, never loved Fastlane. Just a stupid name for a stupid, pointless show. I'm putting this at bottom of C. Don't love the name, but it's better than a match type, so I'll put it there. Fastlane, and the fact that it's one word, the fuck is that? Fastlane is not one word. To my knowledge, the last I checked, it's not a one-word show. Anyway, Great American Bash, I think is a great one. Great for the month of July. NXT uses that now. I will put that above Clash of Champions, or I like Clash of Champions a little bit more. Great American Bash, I'll put it there, but that is a great one. Halloween Havoc, S. I don't care that they use it for NXT now. I don't give a fuck. Halloween Havoc is amazing. I'll put it above Judgment Day, but below Backlash. Halloween Havoc, goated. Hell in a Cell has more flair to it than Money in the Bank or Elimination Chamber, so I'll put it top of D, but it's still the name of a match, so it's definitely D. Roadblock, end of the line, they only did one of these. They did one as a WWE Network special in 2016, and then they brought it back as a formal pay-per-view that same fucking year for some reason, hence the end of the line, slogan there, or the subtitle, or whatever you want to call it, because they already had a Roadblock earlier that year. Very dumb. I'll go bottom of C, but above Fastlane. I just like Roadblock more. It works more on the road to WrestleMania. Doesn't work in the month of December. I don't know if they've done another Roadblock. Or they actually, They actually brought back Roadblock as an NXT PLE in recent years. They did. I forgot about that, actually. But it's better than Fastlane. Fastlane sucks. Mae Young Classic. That's not a pay-per-view name or a PLE name. I'm not really sure why that's in here. It's a tournament that they named after, a legendary women's wrestler. But I might put that in D, to be honest with you. But I'll put it in the bottom of C. Anything's better than Fastlane. So I'll put that above Fastlane. Insurrection is honestly a very forgettable show because a lot of the installments from the late 90s, early 2000s were not great. But as a pay-per-view name, that's an awesome fucking name. I will put that above December to Dismember, but not an S. Not quite S because I don't love the show itself, which I know that isn't supposed to do with my rankings, but I don't know. It is a great name, though. In Your House, another great one. As a name, it's not amazing, but it is I love the concept of it. I'll put it at the top of B. Great for a pay-per-view in the 90s, though. Extreme Rules, D. That's going to go Elimination Chamber. Let's go literally terrible name. Extreme Rules. Oh, okay. Who gives a shit? It's stupid. What is this one? Unforgiven? It's very small text, so it's hard to see. Unforgiven's a goated one. That goes in S. We'll put that above Judgment Day. I kind of like it more than Judgment Day, to be honest. Unforgiven's a goated name, but bring it back. One Night Stand, also awesome. Great fucking name. I'll put that below Judgment Day, but above or below the rest of them, but still an S. Great fucking name. No Mercy. I'm going to sound biased here. Another great fucking name. I might have to start putting some of these in A. No Mercy is very good. I love No Mercy. I'll put that below One Night Stand, but I'll put it in S nonetheless. Over the Edge, never really loved the name. Obviously, they got rid of it after the Owen Hart death in 1999. It's better than anything in C, I guess, so we'll put it in B. Why is this not working? There we go. I think the ad got in the way. Let's see, I gotta move the ad. Fucking stupid ads in the way. All right, Over the Edge, we will put that in B. It's better than Evolution, so we'll put it below Bash in Berlin, but above Evolution in B. SummerSlam's obviously goated. Put that in S next to WrestleMania. Royal Rumble above SummerSlam, another goated name. How can you beat those? Survivor Series, they're all the alliteration's amazing, so we got to go any of those. I think Survivor Series is the weakest of those four, but I feel like you got to put these four in the top of the S. If you're not a wrestling fan unless you do that, to be honest with you. These four have to be the top of S because they're all great names and they're classic shows. And they've stayed around for That reason among many others. So I'll put those at the top of S. A lot of S tier pay-per-view names, but there's a lot of great pay-per-view names. What can I say? New Year's Revolution was a great fucking name. That is totally an A as well. I will go below Armageddon, but above No Way Out. Great name. Global, the Global Warning Tour. Instead of Global Warming. Good name, not A worthy, but I'll put that in B. It's not really a pay-per-view, so it doesn't really count, but I'll put it above Over the Edge, but below Bash in Berlin. I just love the alliteration with Bash in Berlin. Global Warning Tour is good, but not like amazing. St. Valentine's Day Massacre, never loved it, but it's better than anything in C. I will go St. Valentine. Plays off of a historical event. You know what? Actually, I'll probably put it in the middle of B. It's probably better than Bash in Berlin, but Starrcade is so classic that we got to put it in the middle. So we'll put that there. Vengeance is another good one. I like Vengeance. That's an A match or an A, pay-per-view name for me. I'll put that above Clash of Champions. I'll put that it's basically Backlash, but I don't give a fuck. I'll put it above No Way Out, Clash of Champions, Great American Bash, and Cyber Sunday. Bad Blood is fine. That's a B pay-per-view name for me. Never loved it. Good name, but I just feel like they've had better. Bad Blood, I'll put it above Bash in Berlin. Bad Blood's good. I like it, but I've never loved it. Greatest Royal Rumble's awful. Terrible. Show should have never happened. Goes bottom of D. Stupid name. It's basically the Rumble, but the greatest Royal Rumble, which it was not. Stupid. Super Showdown, basic as fuck. That will go bottom of C. Fastlane's a pretty dumb fucking name, especially the whole one-word thing really bothers me. I guess I'll go above Mae Young Classic. But it's still very basic. You know what? I'll go below Mae Young Classic. It's going to be right at the bottom of C, though. Stomping Grounds also sucks. I don't even know what that means. Like, they did one of them. What does that even mean? TLC has to go in D. That was just a dumb name. That's probably bottom of D. It's just called TLC. Like, for anyone that doesn't know what that is, it just makes no sense. But Stomping Grounds, again, what does that even mean? Honestly, it might go bottom of C for that. Because they were in Washington. How is that their stomping grounds? I think that's where they did the show, was in Washington back in 2019. They never did it again. Clash of the Castle, good name, again. Basically Bash in Berlin, but I like that more than that, so I'll put it at the middle of B. Over the Limit, never loved it, but it's better than, it might be top of C. Tribute to the Troops is a good one. I always like that one. I don't know, that's not really a pay-per-view, but we'll put that at bottom of A. Yeah, we'll put that at bottom of A. Invasion, the show itself was terrible, but as a name, it's fine. I guess I'll put that in B. Above, I'll put that above Evolution, and I'll put it above Over the Edge. It's a good name, but that show sucked. But anyway, last two here, Over the Limit and Rebellion. Over the Limit, let's see. This was another pretty forgettable show. The 3 times that they did it, from 2010 through 2012. I like Night of Champions more than that, to be honest with you. I like Bragging Rights more. Crown Jewel's a better name. I'll put it above Payback, but below Bragging Rights in Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel's not a great show, but Over the Limit was just stupid. And then it was supposed to be like car-themed, I guess. And then Rebellion. Pretty basic name, to be honest with you. Pretty basic pay-per-view name. I guess this will also... We have a lot of C pay-per-view names. Yikes. Stomping Grounds will go in D. I'm going to move that to D, because Stomping Grounds fucking sucked. Fastlane also, you know what? Fuck it. That goes to D as well. That might make room for Rebellion, which I'm going to put in C. Don't love the Rebellion name. Honestly, these are all better. Payback and Battleground, I just think are lazy. So I'll put it there. All right, I might switch these as we go through them one more time, but this is my list as of now of WWE's best and worst pay-per-view names and PLE names from the last, X amount of years. Great, from worst to best. In the D category, we'll start with first. Greatest Royal Rumble, TLC, Extreme Rules, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell, Stomping Grounds, and Fastlane. Now to the C category, Super Showdown, Mae Young Classic, Roadblock, End of the Line, King and Queen of the Ring, Battleground, Payback, Rebellion, Over the Limit, Crown Jewel, Bragging Rights, and Night of Champions. B Time, Evolution, Over the Edge, Invasion, Global Warning Tour, Bash in Berlin, Clash of the Castle, Bad Blood, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, Starcade, Taboo Tuesday, In Your House. A category, Tribute to the Troops, Cyber Sunday, The Great American Bash, Clash of Champions, No Way Out, Vengeance, New Year's Revolution, Armageddon, December to Dismember, Insurrection. And I guess this is included, by the way, in the WWE names because they did use it as a WWE pay-per-view name in 06. The pay-per-view itself was awful, but that's probably why they used it. And then the S category for the best pay-per-view names in WWE's history, in my opinion, from weakest to strongest in this category. No Mercy, ECW One Night Stand, Judgment Day, Unforgiven, Halloween Havoc, Backlash, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. Fill out the tier list for yourself over at tierlistmaker.com. I was going to say fill it out before you watch this video, but I'm saying this at the end of the video so that doesn't exactly make sense. But you can fill it out for yourself in the description box down below. Also in the description box, more information on how you can become a channel member to get videos like this early and ad-free before anyone else. You also get shout-outs for channel members, badges, and access to badges and emojis and the live chats that we do on the live streams here on the channel and so much more. Shout out to the Mike Sanchez _ on Twitter. Thank you to him for putting this together. And you can also check out all the other installments that I've done of WrestleRant Ranks here on the channel in the description box down below. Check it out. I would greatly appreciate it. And that about does it, folks. Be sure to like the video at the very least and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell button to be notified every single time we upload new content and every single time we go live. Until next time, folks, I'm Graham G.S. Matthews. Have an awesome one, and I'll catch your ass down the road.